Hey, what's up everybody? It's James Zamera here, back with our weekly Switch eShop sales roundup, and this week is absolutely epic with the North American summer sale. We've handpicked over 30 of the best deals, and as the sale ends on the 16th, we've released this video a bit earlier than normal to give you time to pick up these bargains. You'll notice a lot of these are on sale in Europe and the UK too, but most end on the 14th, so you'll need to be quick to nab them there. Before we begin, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsor of this video, which is the great game Hypercharge Unboxed. Hypercharge your Switch now. You can purchase this game with a nice 30% off at the moment in the US, EU and UK. If you haven't had the chance to play it yet, then this is an FPS game with tower defense elements thrown in that really add a strategic element and make this a unique experience. What's great is that it's nice and easy to hook up with your friends online or play together locally. For me, this is an awesome trip down memory lane, taking you back to your childhood playing with green soldiers and making fantastical battles in your bedroom. What's more, the devs are a passionate bunch that are continually taking on player feedback to improve the game, such as the recent 1.5 update that added gyro controls, more party options, tank battles, new skins and more. The team are hard at work on more updates through the COVID pandemic, so watch this space for more soon. We will leave links in the description so you can find out more. Be sure to check it out. Because of our sponsor's generosity, we'll be giving away 3 $10 eShop vouchers next week, and all you have to do is let us know in the comments what your pick of the week is on this video. Yep, that's going to be a tough one. We will announce last week's winner later on as well. Okay, let's jump in. Jordan, Juan, what are your picks this week?
What's up guys, Jordan here with my bargain choice. Now, I've chosen this game before, but since it's at its best ever price, I've got to choose it again. Tales of Vesperia is a whopping 70% off in North America now, just $14.99 until June 17th. It's on sale in Europe, but only 50% off, and the sale will probably be over by the time you see this video. If so, you need to grab this classic, meaty JRPG right now from the North American store, as it's unmissable at that price. Such a great game filled with personality all the way through. Love the characters, love the skits, and the gameplay is a lot of fun too. A highly recommended JRPG on your Switch, especially at that price.
Thank you very much, James. What a great sale. My pick is Monster Hunter Generations. That's definitely my pick of the week for the US sale. Reason is I bought it last week when the UK and EU sale went live, and I have not put it down. Better yet, I've been playing both locally and online with James, my daughter, and we've had an absolutely awesome time hunting the variety of monsters, taking on the quests, and that amazing feeling when you take down a monster after battling for around 30 to 40 minutes and then being able to take that next piece of essential loot to make your armor get stronger for that next hunt. With the price it is now, I can tell you firsthand it's worth every penny, but get ready to drop easily over 100 hours plus with no issues. But as I say, very, very enjoyable. That's my pick of the week. Have fun everyone, see you soon.
Fantastic picks there. Up next is the beautiful Ni no Kuni. This is a charming tale that unfolds through the use of animation, storyboarded and created by the legendary studio Ghibli, and music composed by the renowned Joe Hisaishi. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch combines beautiful animated visuals, masterful storytelling and a sweeping score to create an epic role-playing adventure like no other, which blew Juan away when he reviewed it. You can check out his review up at the top right hand side. 60% off is the best sale we've seen on this one, and it's definitely worth it. In Mark of the Ninja Remastered, you'll know what it is to truly be a ninja. You must be silent, agile and clever to outwit your opponents in a world of gorgeous scenery and flowing animation. Marked with cursed tattoos giving you heightened senses, every situation presents you with options. This is a truly excellent stealth game with puzzle elements and great stealth mechanics. It looks great and is best enjoyed with the volume turned up so you can sneak around and remain unseen. Wargroove was an absolute phenomenon when it released on the Switch. It really channeled that desire for another entry in Nintendo's Advanced Wars series, and it does a stand-up job. Polished quality in terms of gameplay, plus a soundtrack that is amazing. This is one of the must-have games on the Switch, and not only in terms of being indie, this stands toe-to-toe with the big boys of the genre. It also came with an incredibly affordable price tag, which is even better with a very healthy 50% off. Hotline Miami Collection brings the extremely highly regarded original indie title and its more disappointing sequel together and ports them onto the Nintendo Switch. There are very few games that are more violent than these two. The brutal gameplay is bonkers and unique, as well as tough and unforgiving. Simply put, this is hardcore, gruesome murder that's a blast and a laugh to play. A firm favourite of Jordan's, this is one of the best, if not the best, rhythm game on the Switch. It has banging tunes and quirky gameplay, and if you have the drum, it's even better. Good old fun with a nice 70% discount right now. The Roll 'em Up Classic is back, this time with some nice new cutscenes and in full HD. At a time when games are competing for ultra realism and graphical supremacy, Katamari is a breath of fresh air, a simple and fun game in which the Joy-Cons work really well and you can play alone or with friends in multiplayer. If you're after some harmless fun with the family, give this a try. This game needs no introduction. All we can say is it will give you hundreds of hours worth of excellent role-playing experience from a first-person perspective. Winner of over 200 awards, this is an open-world adventure where you can be anyone and do more or less anything you like. You can build a home or battle ancient dragons, for example. This world is wonderful to explore, and a game that is quite difficult to put down. At 50% off, we feel there is no better time to buy it on the Switch than now. Unravel 2 is a charming, side-scrolling puzzle platformer game where you control two Yarnies, little characters made of thread through a series of adventures. In the story, these characters are made from positive energy and are trying to assist two children on the run. The gameplay is clever as you need to use both Yarnies together to progress, making this an excellent game for kids to work together and collaborate. The positive story and puzzle-solving nature of the game, set in a cute and wondrous world, make this an excellent choice for kids of all ages, and adults can enjoy it too, don't get me wrong. You can play this solo, it's certainly better together though. Up next, it's Blasphemous. If you want a challenging, non-linear world to explore, then Blasphemous is the game for you. The combat is absolutely brutal. You can customize your build by discovering and equipping relics, rosary beads, prayers, and sword hearts. There are loads of combinations for you to find the best playstyle for you. Best of all are the boss battles, which are epic in scope and absolutely huge, dwarfing your character. This is a great game, especially for those that like worlds dark and twisted. 50% off makes this a really solid pickup. Bastion is an action RPG with solid gameplay and all of the classic areas you expect from this type of game: progression, different playstyles, and various weapons. But what really makes Bastion stand out is its silky style and exceptional narration. You feel as though you are sitting down to hear this tale over a bottle of wine with a wise elder. Its style is equally brilliant, full of bright colours and characters. If you never got a chance to experience this on other platforms, you are missing out, and even if you did, it's worth a second dip. Following up Bastion was a tall ask for Supergiant Games, but they delivered yet again, creating a wonderful sci-fi world with rich storytelling and engrossing RPG action that surpasses the combat in the first title. The hand-painted artwork, narration, and dynamic soundtrack round out this complete package, and the Switch port is fine work. This runs perfectly on the Switch, whether on the move or docked. You cannot go wrong with this rich immersive solo experience. Moonlighter is a quirky title that combines managing a store and randomized dungeon crawling. The result is a fantastic experience. You play as a young man who has inherited a shop in a town that's run down. Its claim to fame are the mysterious dungeons that draw brave explorers from around the world looking to tackle its depths, and shopgoers from far and wide who want to purchase the dungeon's wonders. Not content with simply managing a shop, you take the plunge and the game's loop of delving into the dungeon, battling its beasties, and plundering loot, which you then figure out how best to sell. Using the earnings to improve yourself before diving back in is very addictive. This is a strong RPG sim crossover that's worth picking up. Child of Light from Ubisoft is a stunning RPG. This is critically acclaimed for all sorts of reasons, and it's now at an unmissable 75% off. This is the cheapest it's ever been on the Switch. Yes, it's a Ubisoft game, which means it does go on sale regularly, but I doubt it will get more money off than this for quite some time. It's now just $4.99 in the US. Everything from the watercolour visuals to the quirky Brothers Grimm fairy tale storyline and the well thought out in-battle mechanics are superb. There is something really satisfying about an arcade-style, over-the-top action RPG, and Darksiders delivers. The developer decided to give us an interesting choice with this excellent port, where you can choose performance or detail by switching modes. If you prefer the fast pace and don't mind slightly lower graphics, then you have the choice, or you can enjoy it in all its glory visually with a slightly lower pace. Darksiders 2 brings more glorious arcade slashing to the table and expands on the first. If you enjoyed that one, then you will enjoy jumping back in, there's no doubt. The SteamWorld series has a wonderful steampunk vibe, and this time it's back in the form of a turn-based strategy game featuring a brilliant soundtrack recorded by steam-powered Giraffe and gorgeous visuals. You and your team of robots roam the galaxy in a space adventure. The gameplay is deep and rewarding with an excellent aiming mechanic and lots of combos, cover, and strategic decisions to be made. There are countless hours of tactical fun to be had. This is perfect either on a TV or in handheld mode, and with 75% off, this is an epic bargain. One that all fans of the strategy genre should consider picking up. The grandfather of first-person shooters, remade from the ground up and lovingly ported to the Nintendo Switch with excellent controls and nice features like gyro, this proved that chunky games could be ported well. Aside from that, this is one of the best shooters out there in its own right, let alone the nostalgia hit, worth every penny with 50% off. The premise of Golf Story is that you're someone who as a kid had aspirations to become a golf pro but failed. Fast forward and you are the underdog, determined to make your childhood dream come true and get out there proving them wrong. It oozes SNES era charm through its lush pixelated graphics and soundtrack that piles the pressure on you as you make shots. The beauty of this game is how it's managed to take two perfectly standalone genres and mix them together with such aplomb, such a harmonious coming together, which really makes this game a delight to play, and one which is great fun, worth picking up for sure. When recreating classics, it's always dangerous ground. You can lose the original gameplay, or indeed the game can age terribly. Thankfully, SPYRO REIGNITED doesn't suffer from either. The gameplay is exactly as you remember it, with a shiny new coat of paint that has been lovingly applied to these classics. Lots of nice details have been added, from the new animations on Spyro to the ability to burn grass. It's easy to forget just how blocky the game was. The original SteamWorld Dig is a fascinating adventure with a wonderful exploration and upgrading loop where you played as a lovable robot named Rusty. This time around you play as his friend Dorothy and you're searching for your buddy. Image and Form kept much of the same formula. It's still a great adventure about digging in the subterranean world, exploring and using the loot to upgrade yourself, becoming stronger and able to delve further. But what it does really well is in adding enough new features to keep it fresh. One example is that this time around the underground is not randomized. Instead, it's a sprawling world that feels tighter because it's been crafted carefully. This is a brilliant game that's certainly worth picking up. The classic dungeon raider that is Diablo 3 is fantastic here on the Nintendo Switch as a solo experience, but I've always found it to be a game best enjoyed with friends, and we have a few options here. You can play with a single Switch, where each player plays with a Joy-Con. It's a slightly odd way to play given the lack of buttons, but it's surprisingly not too bad. Things get better when you have a Pro Controller each though. Up to 4 of you can play locally this way and delve into the depths to get that loot. Another awesome option is local wireless play. You and up to 3 friends can play on separate Switches locally without the need for an internet connection. You've also got online multiplayer. There's just so many options here. This is a great game that will have you sinking hundreds of hours into it. Still as addictive today as it was when it first released. Simply put, if you love Monster Hunter, then the chances are you will love the God Eater series. Set in a dystopian world where you play the role of a God Eater, someone who can wield the power of the origami and wield gigantic weapons known as God Arcs, the story sees you set across the world and meet a host of different characters, find and craft badass weapons and gear, and slay massive monsters. It's a blast, and whilst it will sound a lot like Monster Hunter, it has its own style. Battles, for example, are much shorter and snappier. This is one of my favourite games from last year, definitely worth checking out, and if you are unsure, check out my review by clicking at the top right hand side. Gris is a wonderful experience from the great publisher Devolver Digital. The protagonist Gris is a young girl dealing with a painful experience in her life. The beauty of the game is how her sorrow manifests through the girl's dress, which then grants her new abilities. A fantastic story where no words need to be used, as this game has the ability to transcend its message through its wonderful visuals and musical score. Enter the Gungeon is one of the best roguelike twin-stick shooters on the Switch, and quite simply one of my favourite games. It is full of challenging areas and clever weapons. The bit graphics and arcade tunes work perfectly, supporting the tight gameplay. Everyone can enjoy this one. It is worth the full price at 50% off. It's a real steal. The devs have added new content including co-op play, so you can tackle this with a buddy, and it most certainly is worthy of its high place in our top 15 Switch co-op games. As a demon army besieges his village, a young ninja ventures through a cursed world to deliver a scroll paramount to his clan's survival. What begins as a classic action platformer soon unravels into an expansive time-travelling adventure full of thrills, surprises and humour. The Messenger is one of the strongest indie titles on the Switch. I love its retro style and chiptunes, plus its branching paths to discover. Dragon's Dogma surprised everyone when it came out as one of the top modern RPGs. From Capcom no less, a developer we don't typically associate with RPGs. There are some similarities with their Monster Hunter series. It features gigantic enemies including, you guessed it, dragons and a huge open world, but there are deep systems here such as crafting and a large world full of characters to interact with. Its pawn system and excellent action-orientated combat set it apart. This is not one to miss. Jordan reviewed Runner 3 and was pleasantly surprised by this rhythm platformer. Runner 3 represents a welcome return from Commander Video in his best form. Runner 2 was one of the best rhythm games on the Wii U, and although there is much stiffer competition on the Switch, Choice Provisions have done it again, providing a fun, personality-filled musical running experience. Runner 3 is a no-brainer for rhythm game fans. It's a pity there are only 3 worlds, and the extreme difficulty will not be for everyone, but its challenge leads to a great feeling when you do succeed. This one has a ridiculous 93% off right now. It's worth a revisit and is a comfortable recommendation at that low price. The RAIDEN series began life 25 years ago in arcades, and RAIDEN 5, a vertical shooter, has found its way into the Switch in the form of a director's cut. The game's visuals are brilliant and it features a solid soundtrack. Instead of a single hit life mechanic like most shooters, you have a shield bar. The result is that this game is more accessible to a large audience. Pros will be able to turn this feature off, but it's a nice way to appeal to more players. The director's cut introduces new levels, a dubbed voiceover, and brings back local co-op, which is always a blast. The only downside here is that there is no ability to play in tape mode because of the info displayed on the sides of the screen, which is a missed opportunity on the Switch. Nevertheless, an accomplished classic that's been polished up nicely and is now on sale. Civilization 6 from Sid Meier is a glorious journey through the age of man, from the Stone Age up until the spacefaring future. It's right at home on the Switch, either docked or on the move. There's no better time sink on a sim game, and Civilization is right up there, earning a rave review from Juan, which you can check out up at the top right hand side. At 50% off, this epic is a steal and a very easy recommendation for this week's bargains list. And there you have it, folks. Wow, what a big week. You might recall that thanks to Hypercharge Unboxed, we have 2 copies of that sweet game to give away this week. And the winners are Napoleon and Tommy Chan. Congratulations to you both. But wait, there are 2 more winners. Each will get a £15 eShop voucher. Congratulations to Kevin Anderson and Gareth Rees. Congratulations to all of you. Email us and we will get you those sweet goodies. And that's it for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video. A massive thank you to you all for supporting us. Do let us know your pick of this week, and we'll be giving away 3 $10 eShop vouchers next time. See you soon. Take care.